everybody. What's up, Snoopy Eats 408? How you doing? Is 408 your area code? Mine's is 402. And in the background, you see my city in the 402, Omaha, Nebraska. How you doing? Yeah, I had just saw, actually, hold on one second. My son had just, a little bit, that's why it took me a minute before I got live. I was supposed to go live at, 5, and then, you know, me and my son was talking about this whole situation, and, he had sent me information on the shooter. It's, I mean, this some crazy stuff that's going on right now. And along with him, I wanted to discuss, you know, some other issues that's going on in the YouTube world, as far as, you know, people saying that Mona Simone, which is like a well-known YouTuber on Today, I believe, committed suicide. So I've been getting information about that too. So not also Nipsey Hussle. A lot of people are grieving over him right now, but a lot of people are really, you know, going through it as far as Mona Simone goes. I don't know how many of you guys know Mona Simone, but yeah, so it's a sad day for a lot of people. Hold on one moment, Snoopy. I gotta call in the phone lines. 1 second. But yeah, I'm gonna be taking calls today, and you know, seeing what you guys have to say or how you feel about this whole situation. Let's see. Conference call. Just give me 1 second so I can turn on the phone lines.
Welcome. This service is provided by freeconferencecall.com. Please enter your access code followed by the pound or hash sign. If you are the host, press star now. Otherwise, please wait, and you will be joined. Please enter your PIN followed by the pound or hash. If you do not know your PIN, please enter pound or hash. Thank you. There is one host in this conference.
Okay. Let me turn my speaker on. Okay, now who was it that wanted to call in? Hold on 1 second. I have to grab this cord so I can plug up the speaker. I don't want it to die on us while everybody is talking. Okay, hold on. I done unplugged the light. Ooh, it actually looks better with the light off, huh? Look at that. I don't look so bright. Hold on, let me plug the light back. Do it look better with the light or without the light, y'all? Okay, did I have this plugged in already? Oh, okay, I see what I did. Okay, hold on. I got cords going everywhere, y'all. I'm gonna just plug this into my computer. Plug. Hold on, I'm coming. I got like a bazillion cords. Oh, that did look better with the light off, huh? Okay. Anywho. Okay, go ahead, hon.
Okay, yeah, this is Snoopy Eats. Just wanted to call in and just give a little bit of information that I found out from a homegirl of mine who's connected with a lot of lot of people out there in LA. So first of all, I just wanted to give my condolences out to Nipsey Hussle, his family, Lauren London, her family, the kids, because the biggest impact, that the hurtful part about this is that not just did we lose another legend, you know, in this music and so much that he's done for everybody, but he left behind children and a wife. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we found out that the dude is from his same set, the same neighborhood. He's a 60.
Rolling 60s, really?
He's a rolling 60, yeah. So from his own neighborhood.
That's sad.
That did this. So everybody's out hunting for him, but I'm sure that he already left LA already.
Oh, he probably long gone because he already know everybody gonna be on his butt.
Yeah. So, but then, you know, just watching the footage over and over, and then just seeing like how that would happen, and you know, he died on the street right there. They proclaimed him dead at the hospital, but
he died on the street. Did you see the video?
5 shots to the body or the torso, or 1 in the head.
I mean, when my son showed me that, because I was live yesterday while I was cooking dinner, and I don't know if he was on that live, but that's when my son brought it to me, and he showed me the video, and the blood was just coming out of his head, and I was like, oh no, this ain't gonna good.
Man. And I mean, I was so pissed. It went from shock to disbelief to sadness to anger and rage, and I'm just like, you know, it's either the homies is going to get him first or the police are going to get him first. But either way, I mean, it's not going to be a good outcome for that dude, which I don't care. You know, right. Justice will be served either way because, you know, and the universe don't play, karma don't play.
Yeah, karma's a biatch. That's crazy.
And I know how the street works and the politics of it. And I was just, what caught me off guard was that at first, you know, the whole thing about, you know, him getting ready to do stuff with Dr. Sabi's information and stuff like that.
Yeah, the documentary.
Start to stray off into that, right? But then, you know, this is hood politics, though. And we already know that the Rolling 60s is one of the largest gangs in southern Los Angeles and one of the most hated. But at the same time, this sounds like a personal vendetta. With, you know, something else is behind the scenes we don't know about. And I was talking to my friend about it, and she was like, "Yeah, no, there's more. It's more than just Dr. Sabi, and it's more than this and that. This is something personal." Because you remember when he was at the awards, and he slapped the hell out of that dude in his face.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
So there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes we don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna come to light eventually.
Good politics.
Yeah, it's gonna come to light eventually. Like everybody was like really focused on that tweet that he had sent out like right before. And how he was saying about his enemies. So do you think that he knew who the enemy was? Or do you think he was like, because they said somebody probably told him that something was going down or that somebody was out there, you know, talking trash or about to do something or whatever. And maybe he like blew it off and thought it was a bluff? Or do you think he, I mean, as far as like no security and no, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I have 2 different ways I'm seeing this right now. So I'm going to look at it from like the neighborhood point of view. Like to say that you're to have strong enemies is a blessing can mean a lot of things. It's just like with YouTube, right? This is how I seen that at first. Maybe he tweeted that saying, you know, when you're doing good, when you're making it successfully or whatever, you're always going to have haters, right? You're always going to have people that say this about you, come on, troll you. So to me, that's what it sounded like at first because I don't understand why he would put that. But then again, he's a businessman, right? He deals with a lot of people, and you know, he's got his stores, he's got the music, he owns all of his stuff. So all of that too, you know what I mean? Like nobody has control over his stuff. So that's another thing to open your eyes on. He controlled. It's a brother controlling all of his goods, right?
He's his own man. Yeah.
So, I mean, we've seen this time and time before with our people. Like, anytime, you know, you get to the top and then you start coming with a message, you know, you're on a T-shirt, candles lit. So,
yep, and the whole country grieving.
You know?
It's so sad. I mean, a lot of people is taking it so hard. I know my sons, they taking it really hard. Like, my oldest son, he's 22, but will be on the 22nd. And that's like his favorite, you know, West Coast rapper for the last few years, you know. So
me too.
It's
Nipsey. He's different. Like, I don't listen to the radio, and I don't like commercialized music and stuff like that. Like, I grew up. I'm 42, so I grew up raised on Ice Cube and Eazy.
Same
and
here.
and
Same here.
And stuff, you know?
Yep.
Ice-T. So I mean, and even the Bloods and Crips music too. You know, because growing up, you know, us youngsters growing up, you know, you get caught on the track, right? So you end up in these cliques and doing what you got to do. You get to know certain people, but when I seen Nipsey, he changed my whole life, and I seen him evolve, and from his early album into the Marathon album, and how he's been, you know, with his professionalism, and it's just like his music and production, everything. And I see a little bit of me in him too. So it really devastated me when I'm still just not right about the situation. You know what I mean?
And the fact that he definitely evolved. You know how they say, like, okay, you know how somebody died, and the first thing they say, oh, he had just changed his life around, or, oh, he was just about to do this, or, oh, he was about to be on the right track. You know, with this situation, it was like, no, oh, he was about to be. He was literally had already started changing his life and changing, you know, his surroundings and things that he was doing, you know, every day, you know, his hustle, his grind, you know, trying to better himself, better his community. So he had a lot going on for himself, you know, as a rapper. It's just so sad how, I don't know, the impact that he was making in a lot of the youth, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why when he was talking on, I don't know if it was TMZ or that one brother with the morning show, but he was saying on there, he said, what were you talking about when you were talking about with Dr. Sebi? And he was like, well, you know, this brother was curing AIDS and diabetes and all this stuff, and then look what happened to him. And then he said, he was like, you know, he said he got texts a lot of texts from the homies saying, hey, Hussle, man, hey, be careful. You know what I'm saying? He said, listen, if anything happens for me, y'all just ride for me. So it's like you see these things coming, because we've seen it happen over and over with all our leaders. So it's not like anybody trying to jump on a conspiracy tip or whatever, you know. But then at the same time, I'm looking at it at both sides. I'm looking at it the political way, like with his growth, with the whole thing with Dr. Sebi, even more than that. And then I'm looking at the street politics, right? The neighborhood, jealousy. Somebody could have put a contract and a hit on him. You're never going to really know until this thing fully opens up. So
yeah, we won't know. You know, they still, you know, everybody's fishing around, making their own opinions, and, you know, reaching and trying to draw a conclusion. But yeah, you're right. We won't really know until, you know.
Well, to touch back on what you were saying earlier before you take another call, I watched the footage, and I'm not proud of it, but I know how it works in the hood when you about to run up on somebody. This dude, it was neatly parked. I guess it was a female driver. Got out and walked. He walked through the whole plaza because Nipsey and them were down at the corner, like corner middle. He walked that whole place, and you can't hear what was exchanged. From what I'm hearing, he asked what set you were from, and Nipsey was like 60s, homie. But that don't make no sense, to me. You know, it doesn't make no sense.
Yeah, if the dude was in the same set,
it could have been done that way. It could have been set up to be that way.
Yeah, because if the dude was in the same set, I mean, why would he? I don't know. Like gangs ain't like they used to be. I mean, we grew up with gangs here in Omaha. You know, we had back in the 80s and 90s, a lot of gangs came from Cali, the West Coast. And it was like, it's not like it used to be. Like, you just don't, on the spur of the moment, you know, get into it with somebody in your own set and you just kill them. I mean, you was like, really, you rolled together. So that's why a lot of people's thinking, is this a conspiracy? This dude was the same set. Maybe it was, like you said, like maybe he was just jealousy, envious, you know, of him, or something. Like maybe they got into it.
I will say this 100%. This is fact what I'm going to say right here. What I know for sure 100% was that whether this dude was paid or not, whether it was an argument or a beef that they had and it kind of just escalated to this point, the hit was to murder Nip, and that was the plan. Not hit him and then, you know, let him live or whatever, or just bust wildly in the air. This was strategic. This was like a military hit. He got hit 5 times. And that's what they were saying. He was like body, military. And 1 in the head. That equals 6.
Precise. Like, they said he was hit with precision.
They made sure he wasn't going to live.
Right. Right, that he wasn't gonna get back up. No chance of survival at
all. But the dude didn't kill anybody else. He did shoot and hit two other brothers that were out there, and I don't know if they're affiliated yet. The information hasn't come out yet. But Nips died. He died on the spot. He died right there. He bled out all over the place. They tried to pump and revive him, turned him over. When they put him on a stretcher, they got him to the hospital. He's already dead.
And
then his girl was screaming outside the hospital. So this is a sad, sad time, and I just pray that his spirit goes to the right spot. And I don't think he's going to rest yet until this gets concluded.
He's not going to rest until this gets concluded, and I'm hoping that, you know, somebody, like maybe his children, might be able to carry on his legacy, you know, one day. Because he has from where he came from, like a lot of us, you know, growing up in the hood, to where he is to now and who he's developing to, that's what makes it more sad. It's just not like a rapper, somebody out there who's out there in the streets, still hustling, still out there causing mischief. You know, he actually did a 360, or was trying to, you know, with his life and helping out others.
Exactly.
Like that center that he had.
Our people got to appreciate. Our people got to look at that and appreciate it and say, hey, listen, we shouldn't be scared to go into a black-owned, store or food restaurant or something like that. We can go anywhere else and be cool with everybody, but it's just like we fear our own people, and then we're so quick to take our own people out, and that's the part that is sad. And it's painful because it's like words can't even express the anger and the stuff that's boiling up inside of us right now. But I can just imagine, like, how I'm feeling right now, how you're feeling. Can you imagine how Laura's feeling right now?
I can't imagine. I mean, I can't. And you know, the child was born on this day.
Wow.
I mean, not this day, yesterday. The child turned 2 yesterday, the day his dad was killed. That's crazy. He was born March 31st, 2017. That's sad. That's so sad.
That's why everybody was saying, listen, don't go out, because I know Rolling 60s have put out, from what I heard, a 60 days, 60 nights. And everybody was like, stay inside the house. Like, I got friends that are flying out of Watts and just all kinds of stuff. But it's just like, people like are fearing right now. But it's like, what the OGs need to do is like, listen, let the police do their job. Like, let some facts come out first. Don't just go start blasting.
And that's what they're doing. It's already been. They said it's already been 3 drive-bys since yesterday, and they're begging people not to.
Shooting already, and it's stupid because you don't know who you're going after. You can't speculate and just assume, and the next thing you know, you're blasting up another neighborhood, and then here we go again.
Exactly.
The whole LA thing again when it was dying down. You know?
Yep. And that's the thing. It was dying down. They haven't had really no serious gang violence in a while. You know, so I just hope this don't manufacture into a whole bunch of unnecessary violence. I really don't. But yeah, well, thank you for calling in. You have some really great points. I'm so glad you called in and expressed, how you feel about this whole situation. I appreciate that.
I appreciate for taking the call. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye. Hello? Okay, the phone lines are still open, you guys. We're just sitting here discussing. Ooh, let me take that out. It's a little too loud till somebody gets on the line. If anybody else want to call in, just let me know you want to call in so I can put you on the speaker and let me know how you feel about this whole situation. And hey, everybody that's tuned in, welcome. Hello. Welcome. Let's see, who did I miss? I know I missed a lot of y'all while I was on the phone. Hey, Mama Sislo. Hey, listen, Linda. William, you said, bro, this is crazy. This tells everyone that makes it out to never come back. Shot in your own neighborhood where you're trying to help people. Screw this gang stuff. Yeah, I feel you, William. I feel you so much. Underrated Darkness. Hey, how you doing, Real Talk? Yes, Real Talk, yes. Please let us continue praying for his family, for his children, for Lauren, all his friends. I mean, like, his community. like his community, like in that area. So many people love him. I mean, he's made an impact on so many people, you know, young and old, out there, you know, on, not just on the West Coast, not just in LA, you know, South LA, but around the world. He's made a difference in a lot of people. So that's why this is such a tragedy. It's such a tragedy. To me, it's just not the normal situation. It's just not the normal somebody in the hood, like I was telling the last caller, somebody in the hood who's raised up in the hood, joined a gang, you know, out of whatever reason they joined the gang, and then turned rapper. It's just, he was so much more than that. And that's why a lot of people is taking this really, 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 really hard. Like, a lot of people is taking this really hard. Let me make sure I spoke to everybody. Chancel Kitchen, hey, Gotham City, you think it's a conspiracy? That's what, you know, a lot of people are saying that too, even with, like, they were saying the person who shot him was of the same set. But how they were saying, you know, the way he was killed, how precise the shots were, that's not no, that's not an amateur shooter. That's, I don't know. I don't think that's the amateur skills, I should say. I don't want to say it was conspiracy, but I don't know. You know how people say, okay, this could have been somebody from his own set. What if it really wasn't? What if he's just saying that to throw people off? You know, to throw people off. What if it was bigger than that? You know, it could, it's just crazy the way it happened. It's just crazy the way it happened. Like, was this a setup? Or was it just some random dude that had beef with him? And then I'm like, if it was a random dude that had beef with him, do y'all think that dude would actually sit there and wait and be at the scene and walk all through the area and then wait until right after he taking pictures with small children? Would wait all that time? You know, this is not an amateur. This is not an amateur. They made sure they could get him. Out of all the things that was going on, he was taking pictures. It was a lot going on at that time. Hey, Miss Hogg, how you doing? Oh, you got the gift card? Awesome. I'm glad you got the gift card. Miss Hogg was a recipient of the gift card for last month for our gift card drawing. So I'm glad you got that in the mail. But yeah, some people think it's a conspiracy. I don't know. This is really hard, y'all. I wanted to talk about this earlier today, but, you know, I was working and everybody was going live. And I was like, let me wait till, you know, the internet dies down a little bit and holler at y'all in the evening. William, you said your thing is that this is completely unfair. Dude was actually uplifting people and being positive influence in the world and gets murdered. So he has to die. But Cardi B don't get touched. You know, I got it. I think I'm going to leave the light off because it looks a little better for right now. But I got you. Cardi B, I don't even know what Cardi B is got going on right now. I know we've been talking a lot about the lawsuit that she's supposed to be having going on and her being affiliated with these gang members and whatnot. And a lot of people just don't like Cardi. They can do without Cardi. But you said, let me make sure I got all the comments read. This is truly sad. Yep, just inspiration. Yes, it is. Hello, Miss Primetime. Hi, Gotham. Did I say hi to you already? The hookup in marketing. Hello. I'm D33. Thanks for checking in, everybody, you know, on this subject. And again, if anybody wants to call in, feel free to call in. I'm about to plug up the speaker again. So feel free to call in if you want to, you know, give your 2 cents on this subject matter. I just wanted to note a few things. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Hey, Miss Corey, how you doing, hon? I know, Mal. Aren't you out there on that side, Miss Corey? Or is that Miss Kima who's out in Cali? I thought maybe you were out in Cali too. I can't remember which one of you ladies was out in Cali. But I definitely would love if Miss Kima was online, because I know she's right there. Yeah, I thought both of you guys were out there. I mean, I want you to call in, Miss Corey. Please call in. 605-475-4075, access number 753-359. Please call in. She's in California, and I want her to talk to us about, the situation out there. She's in that area. I don't know, Snoopy. I just keep hearing that she's from a gang. And I'm like, Cardi, is she really from a gang? Or is she just hanging around gang members? Because there's a difference. There's a big difference. A lot of people out here want to call themselves gang members. They really didn't come from a gang. They didn't get initiated in a gang. They didn't have to do anything to get in the gang. But because they're hanging around people or socializing with people, oh, I'm blood, oh, I'm Crip, oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that, So I think that's where Cardi is probably at. But yeah, Miss Corey is involved with the children right now, so she can't call in right now. But if anybody is in Cali, please feel free to call in. We would definitely like to know what it's like to be, not what it's like to be there while this is going on, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like the atmosphere, what your family might be going through, if you know anybody personally who might be, associated with him or anything like that. Sorry, y'all. I keep kicking this doggone light. I keep kicking this cord. But yeah, that would be nice if somebody from that area could call in. I know a lot of y'all are tuning in from all over Chicago, New York, California, a lot of different places. But yeah, I wanted to talk about some of the things that a lot of people don't know. A lot of the things that Nipsey was involved in. But, one thing for sure, he was he was very influential in his, surrounding area, in his community. He was 23 years old. He was killed in front of his Marathon store that he owned with several other people. I think they were like partners or something. And it was on Crenshaw Boulevard in Slauson, or Slauson and Crenshaw. He has children by Lauren London, which a lot of us know. One of the movies she played in was ATL. She was the one who was, dating T.I. And their son's name is Cross. I'm not going to try to say the last name, but it's Cross Ashkadam. Well, his name is Cross. I'm going to just leave it that way. His name is Cross. And actually his birthday was August 31st, 2016. Did I say 17? I'm sorry. Yes, his son was born on August 31st. His son with London. And that's what I was saying earlier. Not only is this already an awful situation, but his son, when he gets a lot older and he's celebrating his birthday, this is going to be a difficult time for his son his mother, their entire family, every single year. Because of the fact, who wants to celebrate their birthday on the day one of their parents passed away? You know, this is going to be really life altering, you know, for his children. Really life altering. But a few more information about this situation. You said, let me read what William said. He said, I implore everyone, stay away from that gang stuff. This issue's for the damn birds. There's nothing wrong with being a square. Study a trade and fix computers or something. Amen. Amen, William. Amen. Amen. And if you want to call in, William, please feel free to call in and talk to us. But yeah, he was killed. You know, he was 33 years old. He had son by Lauren London. He was very, very, very well respected in Los Angeles. He's from South LA. He was killed yesterday. Well, shot yesterday in broad daylight. They said it was 5 shots. 6 shots, 5 to the body, 1 to the head. And from the way that, like they said, we've been discussing, the way that he was killed, the whole event, it was like this. I just can't believe that this was just an amateur, just some random person. How precise, how he was killed, like military precision style, execution style. They wanted to make sure, even if he wore a vest, that he would not survive. They wanted to make sure he was definitely killed. 2 other people were shot as well. It's a horrible, horrible situation. As I was saying, this guy was well respected. Nipsey, he was very talented, well respected, loved by a lot of people in the hood. Even different sets, even different races. I mean, he was just well liked and respected by a lot of people. He was really, really smart, like from the hood, was involved in the gangs, turned rapper, turned entrepreneur, businessman. I mean, some people might not call him a leader, but he was very influential on a lot of people, especially young people, young black men. You know, young black men who grew up in the hood, who's growing up in poverty, who's just trying to make it, you know, every day, from day to day. But let me make sure before I read on, I'll make sure I don't miss any more comments. You said your thing is that it's completely unfair. Dude was actually uplifting people. Oh yeah, I read that already. You're right, Snoopy. We're so in love with the streets, but the streets don't love us back. You are so right. You are so right about that. As far as like him and everything that he was involved in, a lot of people knew that he was literally working on a documentary with Dr. Sebi, and that is, Dr. Sebi is trending. He is really trending on Twitter right now. The police at first were saying, and they probably are still saying, that it's gang related. You know how the police are. The police, I mean, almost automatically, when you are either in the gangs or involved with the gangs, or even an ex-gang member or gang banger, they're automatically just going to assume right off the top that this is a gang situation or that is gang retaliation. But unless they put something out there that Nipsey did recently or in the recent days to warrant something like this, I'm not going to call it gang related. I'm just not. Especially with the fact that he, they saying that the person who killed him was from the same set. Now, just because a person is from the same set, if they kill somebody of the same set, that does not necessarily, to me, qualify as gang related. You know what I mean? It could be bigger than that. Bigger than that. It could be a setup. It could be somebody paid this man. It could be somebody that knew him or knew of him, and somebody paid him. Oh, we'll pay you for this. He could have had a hit, and somebody just paid. Oh, well, I know that dude. He from this set. I'm affiliated with certain people around him or something. So it could possibly be not gang related just because a gang member did the killing or did the shooting. You know what I'm saying? You says, I had to look at Dr. Sabi's videos. I ordered some things from him years ago. I heard Dr. Sabi can raise a dead darn near. I need to look into Dr. Sabi. I mean, as far as I know, I might be a thick chick, but as far as I know, I'm okay. I don't need any hospital care or any pills or drugs or leaves or anything like that. But you can always benefit from taking vitamins and herbs and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that. But a lot of people in LA didn't believe entirely, what police were saying, as far as this is just quote quote gang related. And then as far as him impacting the community, he has done so much for his community. I mean, there are people out here that's been around forever in the entertainment industry, and they have not done as much as he has. This man isn't that old. He's 33. There's people that's been around since the 80s, rapping in the 80s, that are now in their 50s and 60s, who haven't done as much as he has, in the short period of time that he was able to. Let me make sure I clarify that he was able to, because he might be 33, but as far as the time that he was actually able to give back to his community, financially or, on that type of basis. But he's done a lot. There in South Central LA, there's a technology program, a business and technology program that he had put up in his neighborhood, in his community, to benefit the people of the community. And it was actually to benefit the people of the community, not outside of the community, but actually the people in South Central. It was just for them. If you did not live in that area, then it wasn't for you. He was like, no shade, to people around our community. But he wanted to really give back to the people in his community. It was called Vector 90. And it was, between South Central LA, off of Crenshaw. And again, it was for the people in that area. They said the building was like 5,000 square feet, 2-story building. And a lot of people who were interested in business and science, this was like the perfect place for them. A lot of the people in the hood who, want to grow up to be like, as far as like the jobs of tomorrow, like in Silicon Valley, this is like the perfect place for them to start. It was for people who were entrepreneurs, trying to be entrepreneurs, people who was interested in technology, science, engineering, things like that. It had everything they need there. This was one of the ways that he was giving back to his community. On top of that, offering jobs to people in his community. He's an entrepreneur himself, so he had his fingers in a lot of pots and was, offering jobs to people in his community, giving back to his community. One thing that I like that he has said, he had done a interview like approximately a year ago. Yeah, about approximately a year ago. He had done an interview, And what he was saying, during this interview was that the way he was raised and how he grew up. Oh, by the way, his dad is from Africa. His dad is from Africa, by Nigeria, in the Nigeria area. His dad is from Africa, and his dad grew up in Africa, basically to about, his early 20s. Of course, Nipsey was born here in the States. But one day he was able to go visit his father's roots in Africa. And along with visiting his family, and along with that movie that we all love so well, Wakanda, Nipsey realized a lot of things. And one thing was he didn't want to stay in the same situation that a lot of people stay in who's from the hoods. One of his favorite quotes, he said, was from the movie, actually, Wakanda. One of our favorite characters, Michael B. Jordan. Well, one of our favorite actors, I should say, Michael B. Jordan, who was Killmonger in the movie. Now, he said one of his favorite scenes was that part where Killmonger had told them, "Don't take me into custody. Kill me and bury me in the water." He wanted to be, he wanted to die. He wanted to be buried in the ocean. He said, "Death is better than bondage. Death is better than bondage." That's how a lot of people feel who's from the streets, who grew up in the gangs, people who lived in poverty. They might do a lot of things out there, crimes, gang-related crimes, drive-bys, shootings, robberies. They might do a lot of things, but they rather face death than face bondage. Why? Because a lot of people from where he grew up and from where a lot of us grew up, just living in the hood alone is bondage. Because it seems like you can't get out. You can't get away. There's no hope for you. There's no tomorrow. And so him visiting his family, his grandparents, all his cousins, his aunts, his uncles, from Africa, who live in Africa, who still live in Africa, he took a lot from those visits and a lot from that movie as far as what he wanted to do in life, what he wanted to do in his community, how he wanted to give back to his community. He still might have repped his set. He might not have rolled, around town every day, sticking up a gun or, what up, good? He might not have been just doing all that every day from a day to day, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't forgot where he came from. But what he was showing to a lot of people, a lot of young people, was that you could be from a set, you could be from a gang, you could be from the hood, you could be living from hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck, and still make it out and be somebody. And be somebody and be successful. So one thing I hope a lot of people don't take from this whole situation of his murder is that, his life was in vain. Because I don't think his life was in vain at all. I don't think his life was in vain at all. I mean, it's hard to face the fact of what happened. And a lot of people are saddened. A lot of people are distraught. A lot of people don't understand, how this could happen or why this could happen when this guy was doing so many great things, And like I said, until they can show something saying that he deserved or if this was warranted by something he did, I'm not going to say it was just gang related. I really do think it's more than that. I really do. I'm not necessarily going to say it has something. Look, because a lot of people's like, well, maybe it was because of the documentary that he was supposed to be doing with Dr. Sabi, and things like that. And I'm not going to necessarily say that was it, but I do think that it was planned. I don't think it was some random stuff. I don't think he just pissed somebody off and pow, 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 and they shoot him with military precision. I don't believe that. I really don't. But again, if y'all have anything y'all want to say about it or if you know you have ideas about the situation, or you just want to give your thoughts and feelings on the situation, the phone lines are still open. Feel free to call in and, you know, voice your opinion about, you know, anything that we discussed. And you're welcome to do that. 605-475-4075. Access code 753-359. But yeah, as I was saying about that Killmonger character in Wakanda, he was saying that he saw himself in that character a lot. You know, when he had got to Africa and visited his family, his grandparents, you know, went back to his roots, to his father's roots, he learned a lot about family. Like, a lot of the customs in Africa, where his family is from, traditions. Like, I don't know how many of you guys had like a big mama in your family, or somebody, a great great grandma or great great aunt or somebody in your family, where they always made sure every holiday you guys were together. They always made sure every birthday. I mean, you just had these, it was a tradition. Such and such, auntie would bring the greens. Uncle would make the ribs. You know, mom would do the dressing. Grandma would do the special baked macaroni and cheese. You know, and everybody would come together. And that's one tradition and customs that they still live by in his father's community back in Africa. Hey, Miss Me, how you doing? And here in the States, I mean, I know it's often done in my family, and I didn't heard people say it before. I hear people put on Facebook all the time, you know, or different social medias. Family ain't the same. Family ain't what it used to be. You know, things like that. And so from him visiting back home, it made him want to be, you know, a much, much better person, a much better father, a much better man to his woman, you know, and to his community, to live by customs and traditions that value your family and friends and your community way more than he used to. So those are some of the things that put him on the path to where he was before he got murdered, and definitely giving back to the community and trying to inspire youth, inspire people from the hood. And correct, Miss Me, true family is not the same anymore. It's not the same. It's not the same. And as far as, you know, my immediate family, I'm like the oldest. I'm the only daughter in my immediate family. And my mom passed a few years ago. My grandma passed about a few years after that. My great grandma, she passed some long time ago. The oldest matriarch before my grandma, she passed like 15 years before my grandma. So it's like, we're looking at like, as far as like in Omaha, we are getting down to where most of our matriarchs are now like my generation. Like, we're cousins, and we're all like in our 30s and 40s and 50s, and we try to implement family values so much so that our children, when they grow up, they can remember and they can do all the things that we do with our family with their family. So that's one thing that, you know, he implemented in his life was family is so important. The holidays, the birthdays, going to church together, eating together. It's just so much that this man, like I said, he wasn't a leader per se. He wasn't no MLK or nothing like that. But in his hood, he might have been looked at as a leader. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not all around the world, but definitely, you know, from the area that he came from. And I really, really hope, again, that nobody takes away from this situation like his life was in vain. Because some people we probably know that probably should not be here anymore because of the way they live their life and all the bad and negative things they have done to people in their life. And it's like, he might not have been perfect. From the time he was born, he might not have been perfect. But one thing I heard him say was, nobody's born into a gang. You know, you might be born into poverty. You might be born into a family that don't have a lot of values. You might be born into a family where it's just one parent home. But nobody's born into gangs. And so when he was born, you know, he grew up, it was a lot of gangs in California. A lot of gangs. We all know that. For whatever reason, he gravitated to these gangs, you know, to this family of people. And it altered his life. He wasn't a perfect man. He done some things that he, you know, wish he hadn't of. But one thing he learned from the gangs, and along with that, and learned from his family, and learned from his roots, he was tying all this in together. And then when he brought it to the Wakanda movie, it was like, wow. I really hope somebody makes a documentary about him, or a movie about him in the future. You know, showing his growth, showing where he came from. This isn't just your everyday ex-gang member. It's just not your everyday ex-gang member. And he reminds me so much of Snoop. Like, he reminds me so much of Snoop Dizzo. So much. I mean, his aura, his body language, the way he talks, the way he thinks, how he motivates people, how he's business savvy. You know, he's business savvy, and again, putting back into the community, just like Snoop. Always putting back into the community. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. But I think that he will be well remembered for way more good than bad. And again, I hope this does not in any way make people who might have been, like, not necessarily following his footsteps, but people who are probably still in the hood and still in the gang and still trying to find a way out, that they think, you know what, what's the use? What's the purpose? He did all this. He went from here to here. He built this. He done this. You know, he has his own albums. He has his own record company. You know, he has everything in his name. He owns everything. He's his own man. He has his own family. You know, he was a successful, I can't talk now. Somebody from the hood, somebody from the gangs who became successful, as well as not forgetting where he came from. And then it's like all for nothing. It's not all for nothing. It's not all for nothing. So if anybody happens to be watching me, I know sometimes my younger nephews and nieces and my little cousins watch my show, my primetime review shows. Anybody out there who are aiming for much more in life than what you probably were born with, or probably what you grew up with, don't let this distract you from your goal. Keep grinding, keep hustling, and eventually you will get there. You will keep your dreams in your sight, because this right here happens a lot more than we know with good people. With good people. So don't think that if you get out your gangs and you do all this and do that, and you turn into a good person, a productive citizen in society, go to college, you know, try to get your own business, build yourself up and your family, don't think that it still can't be done and you can be successful. This might happen to a lot more people than we know, but don't let that alter your dreams. Keep striving, because I think that's what he would say, and that's what he would want people to do, especially the people from his community who goes to that program, that center that he created for arts and science and entrepreneurs and engineers. And I know that he would want them to think that way. So I'm hoping that the Vector 90 program that he started, I hope that will continue, and continue to help people in their community and, you know, in their area in South LA. I really do hope that, you know, that stays there and somebody continues to run that or finance or fund that, you know, and maybe rename it, put it in his name, or do something, you know, in memory of him. I just think this is so sad, y'all. This is so sad. This is so sad. But it's a lot we can take out of this situation. And still yet, they say they know who the shooter was. I mean, they know who the shooter is. But I don't know if it was a conspiracy or not. And that's why I titled the chat, gang related or conspiracy. Some people think it's conspiracy. A lot of people in LA think it's a conspiracy. So, but we shall see. We shall see what's going to come, you know, from here on. And anything that I learned, I will share with you guys. When I go live, if you guys learned anything, you can feel free to share with us, share with the chat, call in to the chat, you know, if you like. But you guys, please continue to pray for his family, to pray for Nipsey's children, London, his parents, his community, his friends, the children that he's impacted, who might be in his community or might be, you know, part of his program that he started. So please, let's keep them in our prayers and pray that justice will be served in this tragic situation. And in the meantime, and in between time, Prime Time Squad, stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out. Deuces.